Hello Tadpole class, today's story involves 3 little pigs. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3. And another character that we saw in Little Red Riding Hood, and that is the big bad wolf. And these 3 little pigs go on an adventure and build 3 different houses. Once upon a time there lived a mother pig with her 3 little pigs. They lived happily together, but the mother pig was very poor, so she decided to send the 3 little pigs into the world to seek their own fortunes. They set off in the sunshine, each carried his few treasures and some turnip tops for lunch. After a while they reached a crossroads, and each little pig went down a different path. The first little pig met a man carrying a large bundle of straw. "Excuse me," he said, "would you give me some straw so that I may build a house?" "Certainly," said the man. "It's making me sneeze." The happy little pig built his house of straw and settled down to his new life. Soon there was a knock at the door. "Who is it?" the little pig asked. "It's me, your friend the wolf." Won't you let me in?" said a growly voice. "No," said the little pig, "not by the hair of our chinny chin chin." So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." And he huffed, "Blow with me." And he puffed, and guess what? He blew that house down. The poor little pig ran off as fast as he could. The second little pig had met a man who was carrying a bundle of sticks. "Excuse me," he asked, "would you give me those sticks so I may build myself a house?" "Of course," replied the man. "I'd forgotten why I was carrying them in the first place." So the second little pig built himself a house made out of sticks. But soon there was a tap on the door. "Who is it?" the little pig asked nervously. "It's me, your brother," asked a worried voice. "Do let me in." The second pig opened the door, and in fell his brother. He was so out of breath, and just as he was about to speak, there came a loud knock on the door. "Who's there?" asked the little pigs. "It's me," growled a sly voice. "Open the door and let me in." "Never," cried the 2 little wolves, "not by the hair of our chinny chin chins. You shall never come in." So the wolf said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed and he puffed, and the house of sticks fell apart. The 2 little pigs ran off as fast as they could. The third little pig had done exactly the same as his brothers. He had walked happily along the road, and soon he met a man who was pulling a cart with heavy bricks on. "Excuse me," he asked, "but might you spare me those bricks and some cement? They are just what I need to build a safe little house." "I'd be glad to," said the man, pulling his load. "Pulling this load is hard work." So the third little pig built his house. It had 4 square walls and a fine chimney. He had just settled down inside when there came a tap at the door. "Who's there?" he asked. "It's us, your brothers. Please let us in." The little pig opened the door, and in they tumbled. they were out of breath. They had just started to speak when there came a loud knock at the door. "Who's there?" said the little pig.
"It's me," said a gruff voice. "Open the door and let me in."
"Never," cried the little pigs. "Not by every hair on our chins." So the wolf said,
"Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down."
The wolf drew in his breath.
And he huffed.
And he puffed. He puffed. And he huffed. Until he couldn't blow no more. But Little House stood firm. The wolf was worn out. He was so hungry and cross.
"I shall find another way in," he snarled.
He began to climb up the roof. "It's going to come down the chimney," said the first little pig. "What shall we do?" said the second little pig. "I know," said the third little pig. "We must build a fire." They set to and soon had a good fire blazing. The wolf lowered himself down the chimney. As his bottom inched downwards, so the flame inched upwards, until suddenly, yow! The wolf's bottom and tail were scorched, and he shot out the chimney, sparkling like a rocket. The three little pigs were never troubled by the wolf again. They lived happily in their little brick house. Soon they sent for their mother, and they all lived happily together for as long as they could, which was a very long time. And that's the end of today's story. I hope you enjoyed the story of the three little pigs. And I'm wondering whether you have already or are going to build a house for them to live in, and see whether you can test out your idea by huffing and puffing and whether the house falls down. See you next time.